Baby girl, baby girl, baby girl, baby girl. Let me see you do your dance, let me see you twirl. Shake an ass in the club with your homegirls. Take a pic for the gram, show the whole world. Yeah. Is that your bestie? I'ma ice both of y'all like Gretzky. I'ma at you like Leslie. Hit the dance floor, get nasty, impress me. Baby girl, let me see you do your dance, let me see you twirl. Shake an ass in the club with your homegirls. Take a pic for the gram, show the whole world. Yeah. Is that your bestie? I'ma ice both of y'all like Gretzky. I'ma at you like Leslie. Hit the dance floor, get nasty, impress me. Hey, how many hoes in this club? Is it just me and you, my love? I don't mean to call you no hoe. I just heard about the things that you do, my love. And you're just like me if it's true, my love. Hey, you can see right through my love. Hey, I see your waist shrunk, my love. Hey, you got some bass in the trunk, my love. Damn. How many hoes?
Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? I don't even know what day of the week it is to say happy nothing. I done forgot. But what's up? Hopefully everybody is feeling good, smelling good, looking good, and ready to talk about Amanda Knox. Ashley, how are you feeling? Muted.
I feel fine. I feel fine. Ready to get this, ready to talk about it.
Was it really that bad, Ashley?
Yes.
If you are just joining us, welcome to the live. We are happy to have you. If you have not seen this, let us know how you feel about it. If you have a aspiration to check it out after the discussion, it is available on Hulu. It is dropping weekly, and we are 3 episodes into Amanda Knox. Let's get into the conversation because I want to know why Ashley feels the way she feels after 3 whole episodes. Ashley, overall thoughts, because the Amanda Knox, this is her whole perspective. This is based on her book, Waiting to Be Heard. And from what I could see, maybe she's on a world tour, press tour, podcast, the whole nine. She is really outside on the back of this book having a really good time. Ashley, how'd you feel about meeting Amanda?
I hate her. I do not enjoy her. Um I could care less. I like this narrative that you were just this ultimate and perpetual victim that is systemically perpetuated in these first 3 episodes is abhorrent to me. Now, I don't want anybody being falsely accused for anything, but it's the fact that you want to gain sympathy when somebody really lost their life in this. Because now, if the and again, I think this is overly exaggerated. Again, I'd have to get into the thick of all things in terms of her treatment from the Italian police. However, no one is gonna put this. What'd you say? No one's gonna put this dip on my chip. No one's gonna spread this on my cracker. That she was just this frail, innocent that was just done so wrong. I think that the show is very cavalier about the loss of this young girl's life, and it's really focusing in on her idiosyncrasies or whatever it is, like her quirks, her neurodivergence or whatever it is. And I could give a damn. Like this lady has had, what you said, 2 Lifetime movies. She didn't had another movie. She didn't had 4 documentaries. I feel like it's profiteering off the loss of life, girl. This has been 100 years ago. Move on. How about you apologize to that black man that you implicated? How about you apologize to Patrick?
Well, and what's up, Meredith? I see you down there in the chat. Myself, and I believe Ashley as well. I don't know, maybe the Amanda Knox train missed me. I had no clue who this
Me
woman
too.
was. I wasn't at all familiar with her story. But watching it, and you get the based on a true story, based on true event type of vibes, I was like, okay, I have to go look and see what's really going on because it couldn't possibly be. No, this is stranger than fiction kind of show. And I feel like with Amanda having probably more than the 2 or 3 docs that I saw to the name of this story, a few books. I think this may be the second or third adaptation in this light. I feel like they brought it here, and with her being at the helm and it just really being her perspective. For anybody who felt, well, this is a little biased, or you're feeling a little indifferent, or feel like the story has this unnatural flow to it, or how these characters are interacting, it's because it's mostly her. And I feel like they stylized it and glamorized it to a point of no return because we want it to be different and stand out from every other iteration of her story that we've seen. Now, with that being said, that did not hinder me from trying to get into it because it is such a strange story. It is so outlandish to where you may feel like this couldn't possibly be true. No, it's over there. Now, how true her rendition is, we'll probably see that when we get to it. But as of right now, it's a whole lot of sparkling sunshine, a whole lot of getting into her, and maybe certain things that weren't identified before. But the moment that we kind of get into this first episode, it's like we're working our way backwards. You have her sneaking back into Italy where it feels like she's public enemy number one. Like, why would you go to these lengths to get back there? And of course, when we get to the end of the episode, we realize we're working backwards to this prosecutor and pretty much seeing what all she went through individually, what kind of relationship they had, and why would she ever want to go and meet up with this particular person and go through these lengths. Maybe they climbing uphill with the baby on their back and the whole nine. Like, for what? For why? Actually, why, after the little bit that you've seen with the prosecutor and this individual, would she ever want to return here? Because mama's stressed. Mama said, I don't want to be here. She percolating. I hear sirens. Somebody's coming. This is a setup. It's like, no, I'm going to go here. But for what?
Because she's deranged. And it's really bizarre to me that after all this, and she may have, forgive me if she's gone to therapy and gotten some treatment or help after this, but there's no way, there's no reason. Even when we're in that first opening shot and she's hiding in the back seat under the blanket, there is this bizarre grin on her face. Like, ooh, yeah. And the mom is petrified. All of Italy hates you, sis. Like, everybody hates you. Why don't we just turn around and go back home now? And then after watching all of this unfurl, I think that her self-image is very grandiose, if that's what we can ascertain out of these first three episodes. So probably going back thinking she's going to get some sort of an apology or some sort of public whatever. That's the only thing in my mind that makes sense to who this person is that we met.
Same thing. Same thing I said we have to end off with you were right and I was wrong type of thing, because that's kind of her narrative, episode 1 through 3.
Mhm.
I think we even have her episode 3. They're gonna owe me a really big apology when they find out how innocent I am. They're gonna pay for their crimes. When they realize that I am scot-free, innocent in all of this and the things that they put me through, all of Italy is gonna owe me an apology, let alone this prosecutor. But we have this in anticipation of, I guess, once we get to the end of this limited series, we'll see what transpired in this conversation. I don't see this man trying to link up with you in any matter of any the lens that he's going through from your perspective to bring down the hammer on you. You can't be here out of the kindness unless it's like, I'm gonna travel. And that's just another thing that's a testament to who this person is, that we would travel all these lengths with our baby, with our husband, with our mom, who's clearly, from what we've seen, she's going through some things all about your situation.
Mhm.
I need this validation. I need to hear you say that you were wrong and I was innocent all along. Okay. I mean, we'll see. She's public enemy number one, and we can ride in the back seat. Yeah, that grin underneath the blanket. I was like, "What, ma'am? Aren't you producing? This is what you wanted for yourself? You look nefarious." But just meeting her, if anybody hasn't watched the show yet, and I'm sure Ashley can attest to it, it feels like they wanted to cater this series around her quirks, her personality, her traits. And in doing that, I was waiting, and maybe those things weren't diagnosed just yet, but it was like I was always, out there, quirky, eccentric, kind of marching to the beat of my own drum, which is going to shed light on why in several situations where you would expect someone to read the room, know the tone. You might not want to do that now. I wouldn't understand those social cues because I've just always been, Amanda. And it's, it's very that, but we meet her as well as her parents and have her taking on Italy and all that it has to offer. But on the initial introduction to this show, Ashley, you were turned off immediately. Was it just the narrative or the way that this show was shot in adjacent to us getting all the Italiano bombarded at us?
I mean, I don't mind a subtitle every now and again. That was just the damn icing on the cake that I actually have to look at this the whole time and look at this character. I think it's the way that it's presented. There's almost a comical affect, especially in that first episode. Like there is this quirky, whimsical, like you're trying to be funny, and nothing's funny to me. Like it throws me off because ultimately a young girl did lose her life in a brutal, violent way. And all you can think about is what you're going to eat and making out with your boyfriend outside. And albeit as true as it is, I had no desire to continue to watch a show where I felt like it was going to be full of herself. Like I just want to show my perspective and how I felt and how I was treated. It just gives privilege to the 100th degree. And I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted by her character. I'm disgusted that as we're going through this whole journey, it was all about her, not about the loss. Like you see the other roommates, they have compassion, like, oh my God, what am I going to do? That was my friend. And she's just like, well, yeah, it's been 14 hours and I haven't eaten yet. Yeah, I don't really do sweets. Sorry. Like, girl, what the hell? I don't want
You
to
know,
care less. Like again, it just the way that it is presented to us, this quirky, and it can be done right. I've seen it done right in other stories I mentioned before. I feel like the thing about Pam does a great job at that, where there were real crimes. She was a nutcase, right? And it was presented in a way that made it palatable. Amanda Knox is not a palatable person for me at
no,
all. At
no.
all. It's just, I think it takes you one way or the other. And for me, I said, I don't want to give her even these views at this point. I don't. I don't want to support anything about this.
She is not at all a palatable person, but I will say that's why I'm drawn to watch it because we have so many situations like this, even in her real life state, her current state, or whatever she's up to now. Meredith dropped her whole credentials. I just seen here everything's
Mhm.
here as far as I guess the progress that she's made with herself or just her life in general since the incident. You would think with the toll this took on her life, she would want to get the furthest away from this. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to see it, let alone have an adaptation and be a executive producer and my book and be involved and be on the carpet. This is unfortunately her whole identity now. I don't think anybody here, as far removed as this case is, because I didn't know anything about it. I was like, "Is this recent?" I was like, "Oh, this is way, in the way back. This is that." But for what it meant to her, you would think, I'm evolved beyond that. I just want to move on with who I am now. If this is, still your narrative, it says a lot. And not just your narrative, maybe your bread and butter. If you're saying, she's hosting a podcast and countless meditations, I'm sure that this is the draw. This is a business for her now, which is it's gonna leave a poor taste in your mouth. But as far as Amanda, I'm interested in this show, even just a little bit because that she's not a likable person. And when it comes to someone's innocence or just a victim or who deserves that extended olive branch of, oh, we care, we expect someone to act a certain way and she's acting the complete opposite. It's like, what? Why would you you want that person to be remorseful and care, and it's like you don't, but we still want to remain under this umbrella of innocence. But it also is a testament to, you can't pigeonhole me to be a certain way, especially if you can't tell me that she's not, from what we've seen, she's not an undiagnosed neurodivergent something. Something is going on with Amanda. Something is, it's more than just social cues to me. Something is amiss, and just maybe it just wasn't, as prevalent as it is now. But when we get here, it's just a breaking and entering situation, and she didn't do anything immediately that worked in her favor. Of course, we spend the night with his boyfriend, and we go back to the apartment, and oh, it's just a little blood. It's just a missing roommate, and we're so so cavalier about everything, and we immediately begin the journey, from what we see, kind of incriminating ourselves because we're not we're not the least bit concerned. My issue was when we do open the show, she is painting herself with the actual victim, Meredith, here as, oh, this is my best good friend in Italy. We were rocking real hard. It was all of that until the bottom fell out and we didn't know what was coming at us. But even the most socially awkward person, if there's a loss to this severity, you just expect certain things. And here we have Amanda, baby, we out with this boyfriend. we And not even just the boyfriend. You would think that there would be some type of affection from the fellow. Them roommates was running around like they hated her stinking guts. they disliked her. So maybe Meredith was the only one in the house who had some type of friendship with her. But maybe the kissing on camera, the laughing, the ta-da of it all, it's like it's a double-edged sword for us in the audience, because it's like, are you just that out and that's just your personality, or is this some cheekiness of, I'm smarter than the average bear, definitely smarter than you think, and I'm getting away with something directly in your face? Ashley, she's becoming a suspect in what?
Because it's the lies for me. It's the lies for me. Because girl, you're making stuff up. You're lying. And the way that it paints it, nothing is ever her fault. The reason I lied isn't about me. It's because they came in and said we get in trouble and we'll get put out of our flat. Most of them hoes is going back to their home country. They're not even staying here after they get off. I mean, here's my thing. As soon as her mom got wind of this, her mama should have been on the red eye because she knows her child. If this has been Amanda her whole entire life, there's no way that you leave her unaccompanied. Honestly, in the first place, there's no way you really let her go abroad. She never needed to be in somebody else's country. This heifer needed to be home in somebody's hospital, at least for a little while, because there's no situational awareness. There's no heart of compassion or empathy at all, which was very telling for me. She's in the bathroom, and this wasn't. What'd she say? Oh, I thought she came on her period. Girl, that did not look like period blood. That was blood everywhere. And you just kept on about your business. Like, okay, well.
Shower, grab the mop.
And I mean, I'm curious about how the investigation goes, because honestly, girl, what really happened? Now, I know that they played in episode 3 with the DNA and it wasn't hers and all that, but I still have questions for Amanda, because it's very odd. It's very odd. None of the roommates like her. And it's probably was a fallout between her and that girl, the other roommate, the Meredith young lady, that, again, like you said, Meredith is hardly ever mentioned at all. Again, just terrible. And then all you can think about after you find out about the unaliving of the closest person to you in Italy, you want to tongue this man down on the street.
Yeah.
You want to tongue down his throat, like, oh, what are we doing?
Sealed her fate. That kiss out front of the flat sealed her fate, because we had all the photographers of Jesus out there, and it's just like, who is this, and why are they on the crime scene? So not only the least bit concerned, but it's the key. And it was like, well, it wasn't me. That could have been me. Thank goodness I was with you. She's very self-absorbed, but it's like that also doesn't make her a criminal. It doesn't make her a murderer.
And that's what I said. Like, I don't believe that she should pay for a crime if she didn't do it. And the operative word is if. Yeah. Because the vitriol that they show that these people, they basically make that chick Maleficent and he's the whole devil. Let this show tell it. And not to say you don't get railroaded in cases and people get fixated with someone. No, I don't think, as unlikable as she is, I don't think she deserved to go down if she didn't do it. But I'm not convinced, Tyra. I'm not convinced, and I really don't like her.
How did your face drop a little bit? Because we spend majority of this first episode with Raphael and Raphael and ooh la la and wee Harry Potter. All the way down from the kissing to the police station, and we're going to give statements, and you were the first person, at the crime scene. We need a blow by blow, and you were not alarmed at all before to call people to come down here with the amount of blood. It's looking suspicious. I don't care. I'm sitting beside her, and we're each other's alibis. But we've only been together 5 days. It's only been 5 days, Ashley. It's
Girl,
only been five
when
days.
people say, "Oh, so you had sex at this time, and then you got up"? No, we actually had sex we had sex multiple times. Girl, go. And he's feeding her croissants as they're walking outside. Like, and she's just fully convinced, oh yeah, he's got my back. It's fine. I was with Raphael. It's gonna be good. Ho, until it's not. Like, again, where's your mama at? You don't need to be unsupervised. I don't believe it. And yes, Taylor, the tears abound. The WW tears abound. It's sickening at a point. I see it too much. I see it every day, Tyra. I'm over it.
We're going to get to them white woman tears. We're going to get to those. A week? 5 days, as they stated, 5 days. And we are just so engrossed that I'm not going to leave your side. Or why are you treating her this way? Like, you would swear that they were in love. It's been 5 days and it's my boyfriend, my everything. Well, let me make sure you have what you need. Well, I'm going to be here. She needs someone to interpret. Can I act as translator? I need to make sure. All right, Raphael, so I'm committed. All I needed was 5 days. What?
I guess that's it. Feeding her croissants with dirty fingers. That was so disgusting. You've been sitting in the jailhouse and brought her a croissant and feeding her like a little bird. I hate it.
I was just very, very surprised. But baby, by the time we really get knee deep in the police station, outside of feeding the croissant with dirty fingers and the kissing to the point of everybody just going like, can get a room? Do y'all need to be hosed down? She's giving her, events and reenactments of what may or maybe didn't occur front to back. But yeah, can you really tell me what happened to Meredith? Like, was it really her when we burst down the door? This is after the roommates have been reading her for filth. You don't know what the hell is going on. She would never lock her door. Like, it's just so many. I'm like, it's so many things transpiring that are just illegitimate as far as her story is concerned, or what role she played in the house, or even with Meredith. And it's just like, well, no, it's like it was giving, girl, you were paying, you were helping, so we allowed you to stay there. But Lord, you were not our favorite in any light. But when she comes out of there and stuff like, oh my God, bring it in. I hope Meredith didn't suffer. Of course she suffered. They slit her throat. Of course she suffered. What do you mean? What?
Jesus.
What? And then, I went down some dock errors. It was like, girl, you really brought your ass out of there and said that? Because a lot of this, I'm just like, that just, it didn't happen that way. No, you were really out here moving like this. But we have the roommates and the close friends. They don't think the highest. Like, you really got on our damn nerves. There's a lack of remorse, a lack of just discernment, concern overall for anything, even herself. Because baby, why aren't you luring up? Why is it like just that? Because no, and it's this privilege of I don't have to show those things. I don't have to lawyer up. No, mom, don't worry about it. I'm innocent. I don't have to be concerned. Like who's gonna incriminate me? Who's gonna think it's me? It's a lot of white privilege all over. It's very telling and very sad. But I'm like, baby, you were the first person on the scene and you didn't call the police. Like your DNA's everywhere. There's that. We have this translator here because we're not as fluent as we would want to be. That's a disservice. And instantly, in all facets, even with the roommates, even with the friends of a friend in this department, she's the promiscuous American outsider. You have all these things against you, and it's just like, I'm okay. But it's like if she was this far into, and we're saying that she's neurodivergent. Maybe we don't know that. They didn't say that. They didn't
Allegedly.
say that. But if we're at this length to not understand this deep into social cues and have some self awareness of, I need to think of myself, how could she ever be abroad and living her best life? And like, she was the last person that needed to be there. And I know everybody doesn't understand the way that the justice system works, but I think everybody, and they mama to the smallest, know you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law, like, ma'am. But in her eyes, I'm helping and I'm innocent. So why should I be worried? I even have an alibi with my boo Raphael. Ashley, what was happening in the police station?
Girl, entitlement. Entitlement. This is a person who's never been in a situation or predicament and can't conceptualize the fact that they would actually be thinking it's me. I was here 14 hours yesterday and 14 hours today, and I really need to eat. Like, this is a lot for me. Like, is that all you need? Oh, you're a suspect. They're about to lock you up. And the fact that she just had no idea of it, and even the interactions with the relationship, they're literally snarling at her, and she's just oblivious. Like, oh, yeah. All right, they come over. Well, don't tell them about the weed plant. We'll get in trouble. Oh, okay. 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 Girl, I don't believe it. I don't buy it that she was this docile roommate that was just so amiable and able to do anything. She knew how to get her kicks. Tyra, I think she know how to speak up. She gets her kicks on Route 66. She told her parents, I want to go abroad. I want to go to Italy and party like a rock star. This was like in the era of Girls Gone Wild. That's what I see. But as far as, again, all of this, Molly, you in danger, girl. And I blame the parents. I blame the parents for sitting her out there up the creek without a paddle. But it boils down to privilege. It boils down to entitlement. It boils down to the fact that she can't even wrap her head around the fact that I could be considered for this. I think even if she was guilty, I think she would still have that same, like, ideation. I think there's definitely some imbalances, and I'm no doctor. I'm no shrink, all right? But something is going on. If this is how she directed and produced this show and this actress to perform from, yes, what was the show she's from? I just watched it. The Lies, the sleeping people. They was always sleeping with each other. But yeah, I don't know. She's mental. She's got mental health issues to this day, Tyra, if she decided to put this piece out. But yeah, she just doesn't get it. And I mean, when you're in college, I won't knock her for getting her kicks on Route 66. I will never knock her for doing that. That's what people do. But the rest of it, girl, just call 911.
I do.
Telling her, go to the embassy, go to the embassy, go to the embassy, go to the embassy, go to the embassy. No, mom, I'm fine. They just want to talk to me again. They done brought you in 2 days in a row. It's more than that.
Girl.
I blame the mother.
It's like I'm helping. I do also appreciate, because that's going to be universal at all times in any given year, decade. Americans who go abroad and across borders, they still think whatever applies there applies to you here. It does not. It does not. Protect yourself. And we see this all the time, especially when you have someone either of privilege or status or an athlete or a celebrity. But I'm me. But over there, no, baby, the rules are different here. The boundaries, the police system, everything is different here. The moment something happens, get your ass back on home turf.
We heard old girl, the roommate. She said, "Okay, I'm going home. I'm on the next flight. I'm out of here. Like, this is too much."
No.
And that would have been a normal person's reaction, because not even if you don't have empathy or concern for Meredith, who passed away, your own safety, you'd be questioning, right? Like, oh, I never want to go back there again. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Can someone go I don't even want to go back there. Can someone grab my stuff and take it, for me, and I'll go to a hostel or something? But there's just none of that. There's none of it.
No, it's nothing. It's like, when can this wrap up so I can maybe do my everyday? I was enjoying my time in Italy before these things occurred. When can things die down so I can gather my things and go on over there with Raphael and resume the position? Because I was living my best life. Meredith, ruining a good time. Ma'am?
Hey,
Please. Hey, Jess. Hey, Jasmine. But leaving this here, we have the crime scene, because let's not, even if it was whatever, and even if this is mostly her POV, because clearly, baby, we have this prosecutor in the police department acting like Disney villains.
That's what I said. She Maleficent.
It's
Like,
girl, it's awful. Like they're idiots, okay? But be that as it may, we have the upstairs flat, the downstairs flat. We have this investigation taking place. Everybody but Jesus is at this crime scene. Everything is being trampled over, stepped on, and we are zeroing in on Amanda because she is one of the few who doesn't has an airtight alibi. But there are so many different irons in the fire as far as what could have occurred, but we zero in on her. I know it's a mistake that she's, one of the few, if not the only, American here. She's, you know, aloof, a target. And we do have her, unfortunately, be the first person to touch down. And as soon as it looks like something's ajar, even the door being ajar is, well, the latch has always kind of been whatever. So everything it's either a coincidence or there's an excuse to why it's the way that it is. But from what we've seen, they did not treat this crime scene with any real care. We have a bias because in Italy, the prosecutor is also the lead investigator.
crazy.
What? Baby, I'm
Crazy.
leaving. I'm leaving. I'm going home. The prosecutor is also the lead investigator. So he has a bias already, but all the odds are stacked against her. Actually, how do you feel they handled this crime scene? Was it handled with care? And also, were things looking a little strange? Because why is the window broken from the inside of the house?
They said there was no forced entry on the doors. There was nothing of the sort. And no, the crime scene wasn't handled care. And I'm not going to be xenophobic because that's the people country. And what goes on in their country is investigated the way that they done deemed fit to investigate it in their country. But by American standards, hell no. You don't have people walking through the crime scene. The boys got back and they said, yeah, just go in and get your stuff. Just try not to disturb anything. What?
Yeah.
There's like literally bloody comforters and bloody carpets and everything, and everyone's just traipsing through, nothing roped off. Like you got four like strange police officers down there just kind of looking around. I ain't see no gloves. I ain't see no forensics. I ain't nothing of the sort. It was crazy as hell. And again, I'm just looking for something. I'm looking for a reason. And what's crazy is this is a common trope, right? Like even in movies, we see like these dogged police detectives who get an idea in their mind and they're going to pursue that to the thousandth level because I'm right and I know it and I've got this gut feeling. And normally we can feel compassion for the people that they're persecuting. In this one, I was like, she probably did it. Y'all get her. Like, do what you got to do.
Just her. It's like, she's not moving right. Why isn't she crying? Why is she making out? She's not acting like a sad person. It had to be her. And she has something that's probably a hickey or could be whatever. Oh, those are defense wounds. Like what? They never really considered anybody else. It was her. It was her. And it was her and whoever was in adjacent to her. It wasn't just strictly her. She had people with her, but it had to be her. From that moment, we had to make circumstances to where it was her. We didn't even do a proper investigation, and we in no way protected this crime scene or gave it a fair chance. Like,
Absolutely. It was like the low hanging fruit. Like, this is going to be the easiest thing to do, because she's a liar anyway and she's weird. And the one detective was looking at her like, oh, I just hate her. Like,
they were just, this is a police station. Sit down.
Like, don't touch each other. Get off of her. Get off of him. Sit down.
They hated. I was like, oh my God, girl. But with all the hate, Amanda still does not do herself any favors. Child, they were real cute up until a point. We need you to come back tomorrow and do a walkthrough of the home. Maybe identify the weapon. Maybe pull out. Maybe she goes in to help the crime scene, opens that knife drawer and has a whole damn breakdown. It's like, Amanda, what? That was the icing on the cake for them. Oh, she definitely did it. Why is she having a breakdown? What the hell? You've been kikiing and kissing and a lovebird from the moment that we picked you up and tired. And I just really would like to eat something. And can you get something palatable? Because I'm really not into sweets. Okay. But we get here, you've shown zero empathy at all. But we get here and you break down at the aspect of open the drawer, Amanda. Is anything missing? Oh, I was like, Amanda, girl, there was that. We bring her back in because we've been chilling with Raphael, and he's like, "Well, yeah, they want me to come down individually because they want me to they want to talk to me too. Well, I'm going to come with you." She goes, we don't see anything because I'm sure she was not in on that conversation, but she's under the impression, well, y'all must have coerced him to change the alibi. Because why would he say that? We were together. We were there. Why would he do that? Probably did the same thing to him that you did to me. Before we even get in there, while we're getting Raphael to change his story, we have another detective. The man in Amanda's realm, all the men that are just slobbering at the thought of her.
Just want her back.
Girl, they want her real bad. The man who she was, and I checked, they were like, no, she was really in the middle of the police station doing splits and yoga poses and namaste, if you will. Girl, what? She was really out there doing that. We have that. Once we get behind the door, it's an unlawful police interrogation. Who did it? We're feeding it, and she just can't function because it's too much coming at me at once. And these are the moments that I feel we are lending into maybe other things being afoot with Amanda that weren't present or weren't known. The neurodivergent territory, we have everything being really fast paced, and we have this effect going to where I just can't function. And tell us what we need to hear. Tell us. I was like, oh my goodness. It's just too much. And all she can murmur is, I just want to call my mom. Can I call my mom? Can I call my mom? Still not really getting into the severity of the situation. And you are long away from being a witness or help. You are a suspect. Girl, wake up. Ashley, how did you feel when she went in there and broke down over them knives?
I'm not here to tell anybody when, to have a moment or whatever. If I had felt like it was grief, but I didn't feel like this was a feeling of grief around what happened. I think it was an awareness of like, and I don't even know if it was a full awareness. I just think it was some, I don't know if she was sleep deprived. Listen, I don't know what, but I didn't feel like this was sadness for her roommate crying over the knives. I don't know because I don't understand her, Tyra. I could say it's because she was up for 2 days straight being kind of talked to and questioned about different things, and maybe she was just tired because I don't think I still have not gotten to the point where I feel like she gives a single damn about anybody but herself in this whole entire situation.
On the opposite side, because this is what the police do, especially if they're crooked and dirty. We're going to have you be sleep deprived and interrogate you and slap you upside the damn head, rough you up, and take you back. And they hit you. I'm not going to do nothing, but they hit you. You're sleep deprived, food deprived, and almost this deprivation chamber type energy to get the confession that we want. Did you consider the pressure in this scene that they were putting on Amanda?
I mean, okay, girl. I just, here's the thing. You have a young woman who's been presented with all of the opportunities, has all of the possibilities, has been made privy to what her options and choices were. Her mama must have said it 5 times. Go to the embassy. Go to the embassy. Go to the embassy, girl. No, mom, I got it. It's fine. They couldn't possibly be thinking it's me. And so now when I see her being coerced and pressured and, using all of the interrogation tactics that people use in, situations where they want to get a conviction. I mean, girl, this is the thing. It's so hard for me. It's so hard for me to put aside what we learn about her, this privilege, these tears, this entitlement, and really feel, and I should, this is making me question me. I should feel some sort of compassion for her, but I did not. They were wrong, and they were wrong as hell, Tyra. They were not right. But I can't force myself to give a damn, a single one, for Amanda and her plight, because I feel like she has all the resources, all the things she would have needed to not be in this situation. If you would have took your tail to the embassy, you probably would have had asylum. It's an international event. At least you would have gotten a lawyer and someone who spoke fluent Italian that could convey the message and not misinterpret what you're saying. I mean, even though you were lying anyway. And the part that made me furthermore be like F you is when she implicates this black man.
Oh yeah, signed it.
His name Patrick. He did it.
That's
He
what
did it.
That's what sent me. When we have them doing the proper investigation and we were fixated on who was frequenting Meredith's room or bedroom or whatever, it was a black man. He goes by the Baron. It was a black. Well, oh, I don't know. We don't know. And they're going around. And anybody know where the black's at? Basically, not really shedding any light on that. But we get there, we have that domino fall into place, and then all of a sudden, well, there was a hair there, and it was, an African American hair. This man is deaded by a see you later text in a mention. The way that everything was everything for her, and I have no problem explaining myself, and it's getting more intense. Well, no, once it got to, oh, I'm being implicated. Oh, you need where I was and what I was doing by the minute and the hour. I didn't. It was so late. Like ding, ding. By the time we get there, and the pressure's actually on her, and that's not matching up. That's not Then the tears come.
Mm-hmm.
It's very calculated, and we've seen this. We know what it is. Very calculated. The tears come, and we have the messages and the texts, and why were they deleted? And sometimes I delete them, and I cut my phone off because we have more things that could implicate you that just don't add up to be quite right, even if you're honest. But in the midst of the pressure and what was it and where were you and who, Patrick wasn't on a radar. Patrick wasn't a suspect.
Mm-hmm.
And even when they came to tell you, well, hell, Raphael, who you've known of 5 days, he even said, he's been lying for you. None of that happened, and I take back everything I said. I was just trying to protect her and be her alibi.
Mm-hmm.
I want nothing to do with that, because now at this point I'm trying to save myself.
Mm-hmm.
We decide to yell out Patrick.
Mm-hmm. Patrick.
And then the way that it's painted in the show, she immediately tries to recant. Well, no, actually, because I do care, I would never just implicate a black man just because to protect myself. No, I didn't mean to do that. I take it all back. I signed what? No, no. Forget I ever said that. I would never do that to Patrick, the boss, the bar, the club owner who was just trying to give my ass a job down in Italy. Yeah. When we got here, I was like, what you want me to do with her? And then, of course, they're going to pick this man up because we got it. It was hook, line, and sinker. We got everything. And a signed confession from you, a recant from Raphael, and you said it was what? And we have this message because see you later means something more over here than it means in the everyday life. Oh, that means you were trying to see him later and y'all were committing that crime and taking out Meredith. What? I didn't know. This poor man.
I actually don't know if he did it. I'm sorry. Did I say that? I didn't say that. Did I say that?
And it's just like, how do we have these things here, but in the same breath, you want us to assume that you're innocent? Because innocent people, we can move and say a lot of things. You instantly implicate a brother.
Mm-hmm. Instantly. First name that came to her head. She said, Patrick did it.
That was Patrick. Patrick did it. But it was you guys. You guys fed me, you made me say that because I would never do that to Patrick. He's a friend. He even told me, I didn't have to come to work today. I should take some time because of, me finding Meredith. He's actually a great man. Ma'am, what that means for Patrick and what that means for you, it's two different things. How dare you mention my name, ho? But we have Mom show up, Mom showed up too little too late after you spoke on it already. But if you just happen to be Meredith's mother, what would be your first thing to do?
Girl, go home. Because at this point, listen, when she walking through the crowd, she confessed. The American confessed. She's like, hold on, what? The American confessed. She caught it on the way in. I mean, like I said, I blame the mayor. I blame the mother. I do, because there was some disconnect, and the fact that you knew your daughter wasn't all circuits weren't firing properly. I don't think she should have ever been out of the country unsupervised alone. And of course, no one would ever think this situation, no one would ever go, think this dramatically. But I would think as a mother that she would have been like, you know what, baby girl, is the whole family going to go abroad so you have a safe place to land? Because I don't know. And Mama honestly should have been there. She should have been on a red eye that night as soon as she found out. Because I think that she has an awareness of who her daughter is. I don't see how you raise someone up to the age of 18 and don't have a clue on who they are and how they are under pressure. And also the type of life that she's led. Because not for nothing, but clearly Amanda led a very privileged life up to this point, to where she can't even imagine finding herself in this predicament. If I'm Mom, I go to the embassy. I immediately try to find counsel and see what the implications are for this confession. That's all I could do if I was Mama at this point, and get on my knees and pray, because Lord, you raised a fool.
Girl, I wouldn't. You not, as your mother, you're not about to tell me what you're not gonna do in this type of situation. What did they say you had to stay? Well, yeah, Mom. They want me to help, so no, I need you to get on the red eye, just like everybody else who got the hell out of Dodge. You come home, and then we'll figure out what's what. We get here. I'll meet you halfway. I'm not waiting, because she waited a day, and then it's like, you know what, baby, see you in 24 hours. I'm coming because you need me there. It was too late.
It's too late, girl.
Now wait, you didn't wait it, and she didn't sign the whole damn confession. And
wrote it out too. Wrote it out in English.
Now, baby, by the time we get to this third episode, I am Batman. This prosecutor origin story. I said, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? It's so sensationalized and dry. I was like, why are we back in I think the 50s? I was like, what? What's happening? I was like, oh, this is the young prosecutor, and we're going through this journey while he, it's all up to me. Girl, when he put on that cape, I said, girl, Amanda, go to hell, girl.
She going down.
Put that cape on, and we had a day in a lifetime of a young prosecutor. And why, ever since I was a wee lad, it's been my biggest and greatest ambition, not only to protect myself, but the world of Gotham. Please. But he is equating the change in times, and even the likes of Meredith, to them could have been my babies. I have to stop, it was very jarring. It was very jarring. This episode, even though we got the quirkiness with the first one, this got more over into satire energy. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? The tempo of the show, it's strange. It's strange for the subject matter. And I was not prepared to go on flights of fancy with the prosecutor as to why he's so committed and will do these dirty deeds. And I'm not afraid to, even if I have to lie, if I gotta catch them. I'm the Pokemon around here. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get this victory. There will be no injustice on my watch. Okay, Ashley, how did you feel going down that origin story path with the prosecutor?
They were really selling it in episode 3 that he stands for justice and he's going to achieve justice by any means necessary, because I have a vested interest, and sprinkled with some xenophobia, because I don't think, he's like, you're not going to come here to my country and play with my people. You going down, ho, by any means necessary. And when the other cop was like, we'll make it fit. We'll make it fit. Yeah, I didn't need that. I don't need the soliloquy and all of that, sir. Just Sherlock. What does he say?
The fact that we
My
have
dear Watson, listen.
His story this much of a comedic levity to shed light on why Amanda is innocent.
Because
Listen,
I think she took it as a joke. And if we're looking at it, that she's telling the story from her perspective, there's nothing she could have done. There's no question that she could have answered any differently because his main ambition was fueled by this fairy tale notion that he
yeah.
was sent to save all of the women or all of the girls. Yeah, he's Superman, he's Batman, and all of those things. And I mean, it's an interesting take. Honestly, the more I watch this, the more she's reminding me of Jussie Smollett in his documentary. If I can be honest with you, they have the same MO. I promise. It's
I gotta
so
watch it. I still
weird.
gotta watch it.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. It just gives this really you're trying to paint all these people in a light because of your story. And hell, they're paying her. She's getting a bag. I just think it's really grimy to be profiteering off this young woman's death. The story's been done. You've already made your cute bag on it. I don't know why we still have to keep going down this road.
Absolutely, because baby, I was done. I thought once you came out in handcuffs, baby, you knew the tempo. Once you had that signed confession, once they interrogated you to the point of slapping you to get that confession out and for you to go, it was Patrick. We get here and we're at the check-in for jail and stripping down. Is this like witness protection or
Girl, it's jail.
is this like witness protection? The bars are slamming in Amanda's face, and she's like, "If I ask nicely enough, you'll just like, can I just see my mom? Can I call my mom? My mom is here because I'm just innocent in this, and I'm just the perpetual victim, and I don't have any type. I have such a lack of awareness that I would get here. I'm behind the jail walls. Is this like witness? No. You're in here for a crime. You committed a crime. You're in here. We're locking you up." Really? Are you serious? Is this jail? Girl! There's no way. There's no way. Actually, how did you feel when she actually got put behind those bars in jail and she still didn't know?
Sit there and you might learn something. That's what because but then that's not even a place really for her to sit and evaluate. And she's got this montage as she's laying, I was always told to make the best out of everything. And then we see stars coming. Girl, what are you doing? Like, just, girl, I she needs an intervention. She needs help, and not in the way that we want sexy Dex, because why is everybody trying to get in this girl's draw? So you was in Peru. I bet all the boys wanted you over there. I said, what is happening? Just pure delusion. And Jasmine, I don't understand either. I don't understand the purpose of this show either. I don't. Tyra?
Money, a bag. This is, like I said, with how the impact, I don't know, we haven't even got there yet, but from what I know, because I was not aware of Amanda prior to this situation, this is a stain on her existence. This changed her life forever. You would think that she would want to get the furthest away from this narrative because I'm not that Amanda. I didn't do that. I don't want anybody to even see me in real time in this day and age and go, is that Amanda Knox? No, I don't want to be that. I'm trying to move in my life silently and raise my children. No, from the podcast to the interviews to the books to this is her bread and butter, and this is another way.
Brand. And I hate that because I think there's a way to tell your story, and even what could have been cute is a life after situation. But the fact that we're harping on this investigation again, this is sending Meredith's parents through this again. This is traumatizing a nation. Italy was very hurt, but let the way everything looked, they were traumatized by this whole situation. And the fact that you just keep rehashing it for a check is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Speaking of Italy and Meredith, room for Meredith. I mean, not really, but room for Meredith. Meredith's family identifies the body. Now, even we are in a almost purposeful, I'm not even saying almost, like purposeful, egregious, heavy-handed way, not extending any light to Meredith at all. And for someone who wants to still at this moment, because it's always going to be a sector of people, and that's another thing I didn't like about the limited series. She and whoever else is behind it, Monica Lewinsky, I saw your name, girl. They're approaching this as if everybody has been stuck to with this case and we know the ins and outs already. We don't
Yeah,
know her. I didn't know anything about her this case. So to
girl.
present us or to just assume that and you present it in this way is definitely a choice. Do not make that assumption. And for who she claims to be, I'm sure now it doesn't matter to her because baby, I got whatever. She's probably wealthy at this point
Oh,
from
she got
this.
a big bag,
So
a big bank.
I could give a damn what a person in the street has to say about whether or not I'm innocent. I've lived my life and I'm currently still living it well, clearly. But for the narrative that she wants of herself, above all else, I'm innocent, I didn't do this. The light that they extend to Meredith here is just very faint and egregiously get over there. This isn't about you.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't about you. This is about me. It's still very self-centered, but you would think that this would be the one space where she would shed light, even with that opening. Meredith was my best good friend.
Mm-hmm.
Meredith was, we were road dogs roaming through Italy, and oh, this hit us like a freight train. I don't show any compassion within the show, any remorse, any sympathy, no
None.
social, no nothing, none of that. And then when we get here, we use her in this light. Like I'm sure I haven't seen other adaptations or how they are, but at least in this light, we use her here for this, and we're profiting off of it in such a strange way. And the tempo of the story is strange. It's damn near satire,
Mm-hmm.
and then whimsical. And then we get here, and we in this particular instance, I would think that we would want to handle it with care because this isn't just in spite of because she seems to think so still to this day. This isn't just your show. Other people who are maybe trying to move beyond and on and past. For any doc that I watch where Meredith's family, which is very faint, rarely do the victims get the same. They just don't. But
Airtime.
yeah, the thing that Meredith's family have been saying since this occurred, we just want justice and resolve so we can just get to mourning Meredith and also living on, like her legacy living on. Just, having some closure. We just want closure. This is offering nothing and opening up conversations around her, around Meredith. Like, this isn't just an avenue for Amanda. With that being said, girl, we decided to go this route. I don't think outside of maybe the family going to identify her body, I don't see us seeing Meredith or covering
Mm-hmm.
at all. It's just that. So to have her here as just a vessel in a body again, it's disgusting.
That's what I said. It like I said, it just feels like profiteering, and I do think that there's a way that you can handle her death with care if you feel like you needed to retell this story for the 10th time. My thing is, if you wanted to tell a story singularly about you, why not talk about it post her death? Why not talk about your life, when you did your how many ever years you did, and then it was overturned, and what that journey was like, and then your life after, how you rebuilt, how you rebounded from the situation. But I think to put Meredith in here as like a passing, like, whatever, like,
Yeah.
it's done. I think it's cheap, and I think it just speaks to the current level of self-importance that she has now. Because
Yeah.
again, it's a choice. It's a conscientious effort that you made to depict yourself in this way, as well as Meredith's life. And the least you could have done is, talked about who she was and what her dreams were, and give us more time with her other than a 30-second clip in the beginning of the
Yeah.
series. Of you guys walking down the thing and like, yeah, but that was over. She was dead the next day. Like, I think you do a great disservice because for better or for worse, and really for worse, the family's now got to relive this because now it's fodder for public discussion. So that means we're going to be reviews on YouTube. There's going to be think pieces on TikTok, on Instagram. Meredith's family is not going to be able not to see this. And it's like now I'm having to rehearse the pain, the trauma. And I don't think that's something that she thought about. And I think that speaks to her character and is another reason why I don't like this lady. I don't. And I don't even know her. And I don't like her, Tyra.
And then with a lot of adaptations, you'll have the person, well, I didn't have any control there. I sold the rights. I didn't. No, you were actively here, and you said ship it. It's okay. I don't want to. Let's not do that. But she's innocent, you know.
Meredith, she should have came to me. I'd have told her how to do it and be okay in the public eye, but she didn't want
Or
to. She
me,
didn't
not even
listen.
that. She could have had this, and there was a way to shoot this to where we didn't see Meredith. You didn't have. You could have started it at a certain vantage point to where we're still in this.
Interrogation. That
Yeah,
would have been cool in the interrogation room. That would have even
yeah.
been better.
We didn't have to do that. We didn't have to, relive the crime scene or even have her here in this capacity to be your best good friend. We even opened this episode with her giving her a fake tattoo and they're chatting it up. And girl, why? You didn't have to do this, especially we don't care enough to really expand on it or give her. I had to look so hard to find a picture of there. There's nothing. I was
Mhm.
like, I don't have the time to go look and try to screenshot and find. Normally I can find images. If I'm looking, I'll go like, okay, well, let me just run the trailer and I'll just screenshot a picture of Meredith. She's not present at all in there. She's nowhere. None of the press, nothing. I was like, girl, go to hell, lady. Why would you do this? I I thought it was just me.
Give me a line. No, I get
Frustrated,
it.
or should you have started this somewhere else? Baby, back to these Disney villains. Um, he even looks like a Disney villain. The incompetence over here with the department. We have them singing, their grandioso song a bit too early. We all down at the press say, "Baby, case closed. We got her."
Got it. Got him.
Got him. And he's pissed off because now he has to backtrack and do extra work to cover for, well, yeah, we know that, but you weren't supposed. The way that they are having this meeting in this room, going through the mounds of evidence and X, Y, and Z's and why nothing's adding up, and we have to do this backtracking because y'all went and was wilding all outside about what case was closed, and yeah, it was definitely her and this person. We don't know that to be sure. These are the dumbest detectives department that's been, put to screen for quite some time. But that's not even to say everything's, not rational and real here, because even in the sense of an abundance or a lack of evidence, you have a lot of things here, but you guys trample through it so much. Who's to say what's what? Everybody isn't just in here mad and we got to get this promiscuous ass American. That's what it looks like. Then
Mm-hmm.
he sits here and gives his rendition of why it has to be her. Basically, this was a crime of passion.
Mm-hmm.
We had her there, getting her kicks off as she does with the likes of Raphael. Then we had this brother show up. And then the heat of, it was very Players Club, very do something to make me feel better. This
Make me
sex,
feel good.
it's just not enticing me in a way. I need y'all to go in there and stick it to Meredith and take her life. Because that's going to get me off. So that puts him on the mission to just prove to the public that she's a sexual deviant. And these are the things that she's willing to do. And they're going to be culpable and ride with her because every man walking just turns into Pepe Le Pew, all about Amanda. All about her. Every single one of them. And they were no different. They were caught in that web. And this was a crime of passion. That's what we were. That's with all of the discrepancies in her alibi, her story, the way that we would jump to certain things. It was Patrick. Oh, well, I deleted
Mhm.
that. There was enough things here to me to go off of to
Yeah.
not run with this narrative. But the fact that they actually did try to tangle the web of this was just in the heat of the moment, and those were the extents that they were willing to do to get her off.
Yeah.
Ashley's a crime of passion.
Yeah, girl. From the knives, everybody's got a kitchen knife. Everybody's got a butcher knife in the kitchen too. The lady Maleficent saying, don't worry about that. That's fine. We're gonna get her. We're gonna get her. We're gonna get her on something. We'll find something. Just again, a dog with a bone and wanting to make something fit into your narrative. Now, on one side, you could say that this is just definitely lazy police work because who only has one suspect in a house full of 8 people, boys on top, girls on bottom? Like, really? And we didn't go to all of their known associates. Like, if this is really the investigation that they conducted, it's crazy as hell. But again, I take it with a grain of salt because it is coming from her purview, and I'm not sure. But I mean, it's just irresponsible, and the fact that they're so willing to pause a young girl's whole life. This would have been her life over, like done, like. This is it, for potentially a crime that she didn't commit. I think it was just lazy policing in their part. But yeah, they couldn't. Again, at this point, it was whatever needed to be done to make it fit. If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. They was gonna make the glove fit, Tyra, to get her up under the jail. And I think when they got her in that room and punked her a little bit, and they were able to get a confession out of her, I knew that they said, okay, yep, we got her. We got her good. There's nothing else she can do. She's on our turf. This is our girl. We're going to fix it to where she couldn't be. But I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Now, while she was out there throwing it out of every draw leg, that's her prerogative, I don't necessarily think that made her a degenerate. Like, right? Oh, you want to see this threesome action? So you did, like you said, sent the boys in there. So, like, that's wild. And it makes me think he's a perv too. Because why would you come up with that off the top of your head?
That's what they said. They said that, and even that her I think that first episode where the friends like, I went to Spinsters and got you a vibrator, girl, so you can have, even that thing comes into play. Like, yes, the room was full of sex toys. It's just that. But he's saying that she not only needed that to get her rocks off, but that Meredith was more so, and that's not even the narrative we're getting here, because they was going, well, yeah, she maybe had, people frequenting her bedroom as well. But Meredith was targeting her in some type of disrespectful manner and kind of being prudish. Like, oh, okay, it's one thing, because that's why they have her, I think the roommates say that in the first episode. Well, it just used to be alarming. She would have so many men frequenting the apartment and coming and going. We weren't here for it. And this is Meredith's like, oh, okay, now this is too much. One man or whatever, now you have two, like, and she just felt a little like, how dare you judge me? Go take her out. What?
Girl, that's still a reach. That's, and like I said, I would have had questions for her too, because of her affect, because of the way she acted, because of the inconsistencies. But I think there's a way to truly investigate it, and I feel like they missed the mark if this is what we're to believe is what really happened.
I hope not. This is awful. Very egregious work. She said, oh, they targeted me and they wanted to take me down by any means necessary. Do you see the shoddy police work that they're doing? Oh my God. I was innocent all along. They didn't care. But the lengths that we are willing to is, and this is real. This has actually happened. A lot of this actually happened. So I'm like, maybe the villainy of it and how they're targeting her, but maybe, they were doing this shoddy of police work and these underhanded ass tactics.
Crazy.
And child, we lied and had her think that she had HIV to get a confession. Or some type of, we just need something, because right now we have nothing. So we have, this man here. I didn't know what he was going to do when he carried her off to those that office and behind those closed doors. It was giving weird. I was a little nervous. But he's been tasked to catch her in a lie, watch her with a close eye, because we actually don't really have too much to tie her to this crime scene. So if you can catch her in a slip up, do something, even down to the point of letting her think she has HIV and she's about to die, and you need to go over there and contemplate all your life sexual partners. Ashley, how low was this?
How low can you go? Can you go down low? Down to the floor? Listen, I said, y'all gave this lady the package. She said, oh, not me. Not on top of this, not a life sentence and the package. Y'all, this was completely ridiculous. And the fact that the doctor even went along with something like this is crazy. I definitely thought we were going to get into some predatory jailhouse types of situations with this. Again, it was giving, what were you doing in Peru? Well, something's wrong. I think you need to be worried about your partners. I think you need to be making a list, sis, of all the men you've been with to make sure that The collateral damage and fallout from these implications is insanity. Aside from the fact that she implicated not only her 5-day lover as well as this black man, now you talking about, something that could potentially alter the rest of your life, your health, depending on varied levels of treatment. But again, all a tactic into getting her to comply with whatever they need for their narrative. But this was low.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I don't have a ton of empathy for her, but in this moment, I was like, y'all are really wrong for this. This is below the belt activities to me. Cause I mean, her life's already virtually gone at this point. She's in the slammer. Now you want to give her the package
They
too?
don't have any real evidence against her. She could be just as everything that was even some type of there was a reason behind it. She had, an answer for every little indiscretion, or that doesn't seem right. Well, why did you? Well, girl, child, she didn't do a good enough job. That's why we need a lawyer. But the fact that they would go this low and they did in real time, it does beg the question of how many other things, as far as their behavior, is 100% accurate here. I know now. He's definitely not Batman of the city, but the shoddy police work, the underhanded things, I feel like this is closer to home than we think. Because we know who does this, but the fact that they did, it says a whole lot about what they're willing to do to get the narrative that they want. Because we ain't even winning no case, child. But nobody's taking it serious for the Avenger that he's supposed to be. We do want to get the right person, right? Or will anybody do? Because that's what it feels like. But child, when the mom got there, and she was like, "So you don't know what happened? So were you in the house? Do you know what happened to me?" But do you believe her or not, Mom? When she got in there and she was questioning her, well, were you doing drugs? Well, did you do anything? I was like, because it's like, well, baby, did you rob the bank? Like, well, I don't. That was a thing. But this entire what looks to be just a precursor to the trial, and she's just sitting here hoping and wishing on a prayer. I can't do hard time. I definitely can't stay here. The most I'll probably get is house arrest. And they appointed me a lawyer. This is what we're still letting them hold the reins. She hasn't obtained her own thing. And at this point, your prints are on a knife. Child, I, I just don't know. How do you feel that the way they handled, because at this point the prosecutor's mad. He didn't fire the doc. Says you not you giving them real information, shedding light on this, not you telling the truth. See, now you got to get fired. Who told you to go do that? Now I got to do backtracking because I got to go lie some more and get her to implicate black man again or Raphael or somebody to cover my own ass. You're fired. We went there. But even, while basically on this pretrial, she can't get a word in edgewise. She can't say anything that's going to, because we don't care. How did you feel, Ashley? And
I
also,
mean,
not questioning her like that when she got there. I was like, do you believe her or not? This is strange.
At the end of the day, she is a foreigner in a foreign land. Like, you have to go by their rules and you have to learn what that is. Like I said, I don't, two things can be true. She can be a completely awful person and also be innocent. And of course, you don't want to see any innocent person railroaded if she's innocent. And so, it's not, oh God, it's not right.
It's not actually sure. If you could just let me talk. Can I say something? Can I talk now?
Girl, that's not how any of this works. She wouldn't be able to do that in real court either. Like in American court, she can't just jump in and say what she wants. That's why you get, help.
Child, it's the fact that you're still allowing this Italiano to represent her. Man, when she was like, I don't even know your names. This is my life. Like, okay, now we understand how severe it is. Baby, get into action, mama. What are we waiting for? Nobody's gonna rescue you, man. They think the worst of you. I didn't get the moves that were being made here. Because you're not representing me. No, absolutely not. Everybody's in cahoots. And from this moment, when she realized they were, hopefully we do something about that lawyer as well. Because, baby, Foxy Noxy, Foxy Noxy, my prison diary. Now, this is real. She actually made She actually, took her time. Now, how long? I don't know the timeline of the show, but she did do this, and this is how everyone was made aware of the HIV tactic in the first place. These were some things that were supposed to stay. They didn't want their misdeeds, they're coercing to get out. But she goes in there, we're contemplating life and writing a diary, all the sexual partners, and we take this time because we didn't get any information out of her. She didn't really, okay, well, fine, we're going to use this against you and toss your damn self. Ciao. At this point, she realizes that meat is greasy. And this is after we got that confession. She spends this whole episode. Well, did anybody check on Patrick? Did he say anything? Because I remember I recanted. I said, well, tell me, because he didn't do anything. And then she gets in there. Well, why did you say Patrick? Why did you say? Because I thought it was probably him. when the tub gets going and the heat is on, we're going to implicate the black man. I did like, at least they did try to show that there were African Americans out there vouching. We know what this is. We're being railroaded. Patrick is an innocent man. They were taken to the streets all about Patrick. Thank you, somebody was, because wasn't nobody in Patrick's corner in this room, child. But we take this, and she finally, you know what? I don't care what was said. I'm going to look at this damn TV. Maybe we're nationwide at this point. Foxy Noxy, she's incriminated. She's a sexually depraved ass woman. She did all these crimes. We're nationwide a criminal now. Ashley, how did you feel about this tactic, and also the way that seven whole man just makes you a deceitful, disgusting person now because you were out here being promiscuous and you had 7 partners your whole life, from what Amanda said.
We know what this is. This is going to be the tactic every single time for a woman who's single and sexually active. That's just what they do. Because they know, let me make her the whore of Babylon. Let me give her the red scarlet letter, and let me do all of the things. Foxy Noxy was wild. And the fact that the whole country is calling her Foxy Noxy, and the fact that somebody's in my comments on Instagram saying I don't need to be quick to judge Amanda. See, this is why I don't want to talk about this, Tyra, because I know I can't look at this from a perspective of equity when I don't believe in it. I don't believe in the person that she purports to be in this show. I don't believe in the person who would actually even create a show like this. But yeah, they're going to do that to all women in any situation, especially when someone, speaks out, or it's an issue of, their innocence or guilt. Go directly to the sexuality, go directly to how many men that they've laid with or women. It's going to show some sort of character or moral failing on their point to the broader, spectrum of people. And honestly, hasn't even changed much from then to now.
No,
That's still the go-to narrative. It makes sense for them accomplishing their purpose. It's wrong. I can say that with a straight face. Very wrong. She didn't deserve that.
Girls' list for me says Cal, also James checks regularly and also used a condom. Ross, one night stand, pull out.
She ran it down. Nurse. He would know. She ran
it down and they used this against her, and it's like, Lord, baby.
My diary? They took my diary?
Where's my journals? Where's my journal? Oh my God. When they said it, well, a year, you could possibly be here a year. Because they just knew she was going home and she was going to be on house arrest. Like, Mom and Amanda, they aren't moving in any way that you would think that they would for what's at stake. I guess so. But getting all the way here to the end, because, baby, they said, got him. We got her. You don't need to look no further. It's Patrick and the whole 9. We end the episode off with, the bloody fingerprints on Meredith don't match any of the suspects, any of the 3 people. Now what the hell do we do? Actually, predictions.
But that doesn't matter. We're going to proceed with the case until we get them locked up. That's my prediction. They're all going to jail, at least for a limited time.
Oh, yeah. I don't see, with how they are like a dog with a bone in this show so far, I don't know how long. What's interesting is I expected a different outcome because I didn't know anything about her story. And most of the time, if you look phenotypically a certain way, especially here, you tend to get off. Mm-hmm. You do get a little slap on the wrist. If you blonde hair, blue eyed, white tea, attractive. And then you're attractive. And it seems like maybe over here, these are some things that she thought were going to work in her favor. And it's no, we don't care. We actually kind of despise you. We're a little Xeno over here. Just a little piece. You American. Yeah, I'm Batman. Haven't you heard? You have to go. How dare you come over here and commit crimes? Not in my Italy. It was that. And it's just like, we're going to still try to, like, how are you going to try to spin the narrative now? Or who else are you going to try to lock up with the three of them? Because from what they said, in the midst of that, we found it's a black man. It's a black hair fiber. Y'all gonna lock up another black person? Is that what's happening? Is that where we're going? Because
Meredith said another black person was coming, and I'm already pissed off about it. What they got to do with it? Why are we implicating the blacks in this?
I mean, if we do, does that mean Patrick leaves? Because if he's not, it's not him. Like, at least we know that much. That's not his hair. Let him get out of here. Like, set somebody free. I don't know. What do you think's gonna happen with Amanda? Is she gonna go free sooner than a year, or is she gonna spend more time in there?
No, she's going to jail. She's going to jail for a while. Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Well, y'all, that was the show. That was a interesting episode. I don't know. I don't know at what turn where we're ever gonna go with this. And it's interesting and scary at the same time. I just don't know how far they're willing to extend. When she did this in this episode, and it was like, I went camping and I have to be in survival mode, just like that one time I went camping with DJ, and it was like, yeah, starshine. Oh, okay. I don't know what that means for us, but hopefully you guys took interest with it. Leave comments and commentary if you want us to continue the conversation around Amanda Knox, and we will look forward to it. Ashley, anything you want to say to the folks before we get out of here?
Nope, don't forget, right after this, we have Alien Earth, episode 4.
Yes, we will be back shortly. I'm going to eat and pay some bills and come back with those xenomorphs. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
Baby girl. Baby girl.